Quarterfinal Friday of the 2025 BSN Sports Homestead Holiday Tournament is about to come to an end as the host takes to the floor for the first time in this tournament as the Homestead Spartans take on the Center Grove Trojans. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, everybody. Braxton now joined by Atticus Dean, and we just got done seeing the quarterfinals get underway, and now the host Homestead Spartans get to take the floor for the first time.
Yeah, and that was a very exciting game between Zionsville and Carroll. Zionsville took care of business like they needed to tonight. Now it's up to Homestead, the superior home team here tonight at this tournament. They are hosting, and they're looking to go and win it once again, so it should be a fun one here.
Yeah, Homestead won this tournament back in 2022, haven't been to the championship game since. Let's take a look at the tournament bracket. And you mentioned it, Zionsville and Carroll was that first game we just saw, and Zionsville gets the victory in that one, 48-39. Mount Vernon and South Bend St. Joe tipped off at the same time. We got some breaking news. That game is going to double overtime right now over in the Victory Gym, tied at 73 apiece. So Penn and Hamilton Southeastern are next up in the Victory Gym. They're going to have to wait a little while longer to get their game underway as Mount Vernon and South Bend St. Joe putting together an all-time classic over in the other arena. Looking at this game, though, Homestead, on paper, probably the better team. Coming into this game, ranked number 13 in the state. They find themselves at number 50 in the Sagarin ratings. But Center Grove, one of those teams from the Indy area, they've played a lot of hard competition, and that could be an advantage in a game like this when you're facing 3 teams in 2 days.
Yeah, when you look at these Indy schools, you can't let the record fool you. It doesn't speak to the entire volume of the team. As you mentioned, a lot of tough games that can go either way for that. But also, it was a similar story for Homestead against Leo. They were, on paper, the way better team, and it came down to the wire. Me and you were talking. If there's a couple extra minutes left, that game could have been a toss-up. So Homestead can't let the record get in their head, and they can't coast into this one thinking it's going to be an easy win. So it's really anyone's game, but Homestead, they feel like they're the better team, and they want to go out there and prove it.
Well, you mentioned that Leo game, and Homestead, usually a team, we talk about their free throw shooting as a strength, but going into that game, their free throw shooting as a team was 74%. It dropped 7% just from that game, down to 67%. And Brogan McNeese, he really struggled down the stretch, only went 1 of 8. It turned to kind of like hack-a-shack at the end of the game. They kept fouling McNeese and sending him to the line, and usually Brogan McNeese is usually a pretty good free throw shooter, but his percentage has since dropped to 31. That game was a lot closer than Homestead would have liked. So this is a game they want to come out and put together a really strong performance in this one.
And a huge takeaway from that one was just the offensive struggles of Homestead in that first quarter. If it wasn't for Ryder Emmel hitting 5 threes in that first half, and that first quarter specifically, it was a slow start, and then as things went on, Emmel started to heat up, but Mac Welker held to single digits, only 8 points. It came all in the second quarter, so the offense struggled in that one for Homestead. They're going to look for a much improved offensive performance here in this one, and they need to have one.
All right, starting lineup's about to be announced. Homestead, obviously it's their home arena, but designated away team for this quarterfinal matchup and wearing those alternate yellow jerseys. So their starting lineup: 6'1" freshman guard Mason Weaver, 6'1" sophomore guard Ryder Emmel, 6'1" junior guard Jake Kuhlman, 6'6" junior forward Mac Welker, and 6'6" senior forward Brogan McNeese. 2 freshmen, 6 sophomores, 3 junior, and 1 senior for Homestead. Meanwhile, for Center Grove, 6'1" junior guard Clint South, 6'2" sophomore guard Grayson Alvey, 6'3" senior forward Gabriel Baxter, 6'3" junior guard Xavier Laney, and 6'5" senior center / forward Braden Goodpaster. For the Center Grove Trojans are going to be the biggest key to victories in this game.
It's going to be controlling the rebound game, whether it be offensive or defensive glass. Both teams need to crash the glass and secure the rebounds to make sure no offensive rebounding happens, especially for Homestead. They've struggled with that. And then taking care of the basketball, that's going to be a huge thing. That's always a huge thing in every game. You want to take care of the ball, not give your opponent extra opportunities to score, and don't let the defense of your opponent speed you up or dictate your pace. You want to play your game and get things going the way you want to play.
First time these two teams have ever met, and it comes here in the quarterfinal round of the BSN Sports Homestead Holiday Tournament. Glad you're with us on this December 26th as we start to close out 2025 with a hoops extravaganza this weekend. The winner will move on to the semifinals tomorrow to face either Penn or Hamilton Southeastern, and an early turnover for Homestead.
They're not an ideal start there. Immel just too hard of a pass to a Kuhlman in such a short distance. Not the way you want to kick things off for Homestead.
Here come the Trojans on their first offensive possession of the game. They score right around 50 points per game, about 9 less than the Spartans this year, and South goes into some contact and draws an early whistle against Homestead.
I believe they're going to get McNeese for it, and yeah, they're going to get McNeese for it. Officials say he didn't go straight up. McNeese trying to plead his case there, but nonetheless a good job of South getting downhill and getting to the free throw line early.
And first free throw is good for South, so the Trojans will get on the board first. 50% at the line this season is Clint South, but very good score this year, 11.6 points per game, and he goes 50% on this trip, 1 of 2. Kuhlman with it for Homestead into the front court. Set up at the top, get a screen from Welker as he rolls off towards his left. Now he'll go to McNeese between the circles. Welker going to try the three-pointer. That one off the mark, out of bounds. Homestead going to stay in possession. Mac Welker coming off of, I wouldn't say a bad performance, but by his standards, not one of his biggest performances for Homestead. Someone the Spartans hope gets rolling again tonight.
Yeah, he still did a great job on the glass and defensively, but he just hasn't been able to score as much as he would like to in these recent games for Homestead. And for the Spartans and himself personally, you want to see him score early and get that confidence back.
He still had a 10-point double-double with 12 rebounds, but just not the high scoring we've seen from him to begin the year. He is the leading scorer for the Spartans at 19.5 per game. Kuhlman's off the mark. McNeese tips it to Welker. Now Immel, he's come alive for Homestead these last couple games. Jumper is good for him. He had 16 last time out. He's got 2 already in this one.
And for Immel, he had a great first game against Manchester. Then he cooled off a bit, but as of late, he's back on a hot streak from jump shooting. So Immel's development as of late has been huge for Homestead.
Laney with it, passes it out to Alvey. And now out to South. Maybe thought about a shot. We'll just pass it over to his right. Now get the ball back from Goodpaster. Now in the hands of Baxter for the Trojans. And up top, Goodpaster with the ball, tosses it towards his left. Drive and a kick out. South with it between the circles. He'll go off to his right. Laney going to take the jumper over Weaver, and no luck there. So Mason Weaver with it now for Homestead. He's going to go out to Welker, head fake, step up jumper just to the right of the free throw line, no good. And South has it for the Trojans, just 3 combined points, 2:20 into this game.
They're both offensive, struggling to get anything going. Homestead struggling to knock down their shots, and Center Grove not able to get to the rim like they would like to.
All in the hands of Laney now. He's going to try the wing 3. That's a little bit strong, and Welker, one of 3 Spartans in the area to get the rebound. Kuhlman will come up the near side of the floor for Homestead. Go up top. Welker's going to pop the triple, and yes, sir, from Jake Kuhlman to Mac Welker.
A big-time shot there from Welker to get himself on the scoreboard early in this one, and Welker's one of those guys that when he sees ones go in, he gets so much confidence, and everything he makes seems to go in following.
Back in the hands of the Trojans here. 4-point advantage for the Spartans early stages of this one. Alvey with the hesitation goes out to his right. Now to Laney, and he'll spin around and back it off over to South. Now Baxter between the circles. And Goodpaster with it. Passes off to his right. Laney, he's going to drive down the middle. Go out to South. He's got space on the baseline between Kuhlman and Weaver. That's going to be a tie-up. And Jake Kuhlman forces it, but the ball does stay with Center Grove.
Active hands there by Kuhlman to tie the basketball up. And that's one thing about Homestead. They use their length and size to their advantage defensively. Not just guarding the ball, but just being in help, having active hands to swipe at the basketball.
Alvey trying to feed it down low to Goodpaster, but that's knocked away. Welker's going to have it on the wing over to Kuhlman. He's going to fire at Weaver's wide open. Long 2-pointer. Left a little short, though, from Weaver. And so the Trojans going to get back on offense. Alvey going baseline, fires it out, trying to find South, but Immel in the passing lane that time. Weaver far side goes to Welker up top. He's going to step in. Half spin out to Kuhlman. Baseline 3 is good from Jake Kuhlman. And a timeout called by Center Grove as the Spartans are coming out on fire, 8-1, just over midway through this first quarter. Homestead leads by 7. We'll step away.
Rethink your limits.
8-1 Homestead. 8-1 Homestead leaves Center Grove. 3:54 to go here in the first quarter. Spartans offense coming out on fire. Do have a score update from the other game. It is 83-78. Mount Vernon leads South Bend St. Joe in double overtime. About 30 seconds left in that game. So Mount Vernon closing in on potentially putting an end to that game. HSC and Penn are waiting in the wings to play in the final quarterfinal of the evening. That's over in the Victory Gym. And just over halfway through this first quarter, Atticus, what have you seen so far?
Well, the Spartans offense looks rejuvenated. They're knocking down their shots. They're moving the ball well. And then they're also playing stifling defense, making it hard for Center Grove to get easy buckets there. South knocks down a tough mid-range jumper, but nothing's been coming easy for Center Grove early.
And South has all 3 points for the Trojans in this one. That was their first bucket from the field in this game. Kuhlman is going to go up and bank it in off the glass. South with it again. He thought about it. He's going to drive middle and turn around. A little bit delayed on the pass to Baxter. I thought he was going to go to him sooner. Baxter got a look, but no good. Couple Spartans there defensively. Welker up the near side. Crosses up South. Kuhlman over to Immel. Now Weaver on the baseline to McNeese. Immel's going to take the triple attempt. That one rolls off the rim, and South gets the rebound, recovering from getting crossed up. South on the near side. He'll pass it over to Stark, who's in the game for the first time. Now Baxter. Over to South. 2.5 minutes remain. South's going to take the three and swish that one. Only one showing up offensively for Center Grove so far.
Yeah, South doing his best to keep the Trojans in this one early, as his teammates can't seem to get anything to fall themselves. So South just accepting that he might have to do it himself in the early stages.
McNeese rolls, going to take the jumper. That's off the mark. And Weaver comes out of nowhere to get the offensive board, but he misses as well. And then this is going to be a double dribble called on Oliver, as he almost was able to come away with it for Center Grove.
Yeah, you see there, Oliver just lost his balance, picked it up and put it back on the floor as an instinct. Can't do that double dribble, so just a avoidable mistake that the Trojans making it leads to the Spartans having another opportunity on the offensive end.
Sky Dollins and Braylon McNeese in for the first time for Homestead. Here's Welker, and he's going to get to the cup and have a chance to tack on one more.
And Mac Welker driving down the sideline, just through the contact, tough finish off the glass. And Welker's looking much more aggressive in this first quarter, and he's getting them to fall, so it could be a big scoring night incoming for Welker.
And that foul was called against Laney, so that's his first of the game. Mac Welker at the line, 81% this season. And that time just off the mark, and the rebound goes to Center Grove, as Owen was the one who got the board. He's into the game for the first time for the Trojans. Alvey's going to take it and get that long two-pointer to go.
Right now the Trojans just living in that long two area. They've got a couple of those tough mid-range jumpers to go, and if you're Homestead defensively, you just kind of have to let those go.
First player besides Clint South to score in this game for the Trojans. Kuhlman has that one just lightly touched by Owen, but enough to send it back his way. Braylon McNeese goes to Immel near side Dollins, and he's going to find a cutting Kuhlman, who's Going out to a wide open Braylon McNeese 3-pointer over Owen. No good. And a rebound by Alvey. He'll take it into the front court. And now in the hands of Jude Owen. I'll pass it back out to Alvey. And that time jumper is good. Tack on 2 more points. And the Trojans got this down to just a 2-point game now all of a sudden. Late here in this first quarter, 45 ticks left on the clock. Coleman going to go to his right, hand it off to Sky Dollins on the reversal. And now to Braylon McNeese. Coleman with it. Guarded by Laney. He'll toss it to the midcourt logo to Immel. And now Welker. Back to Immel. 27 on the clock. Dollins to Coleman. Rolls left. Goes to Braylon McNeese. Spartans. Looks like they're going to hold for the final shot. Center Grove has 3 fouls to give if they want to use them. Coleman. 12 on the clock. He's going to set up right at center court. Calling out an offensive set. Welker's going to try to set up for a screen here. Alvey's having none of it. Coleman to Welker, 1 on the clock. He might not even get a look off, and didn't matter anyways as it hits the front of the rim. And that one falls to the ground. And first quarter comes to an end. Center Grove closing back in, but the Spartans still lead 12-10 after 1.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Back here at Spartan Arena, we do have a score update as quarterfinal number 2 has finally gone final in double overtime. Mount Vernon has taken down South Bend St. Joe 85-78, and Mount Vernon trailed by double digits multiple times in that game, but in the end ends up getting the victory, and they will advance to take on Zionsville in our first semifinal tomorrow morning with a 10 a.m. tip. St. Joe, they'll face Carroll in the Victory Gym consolation game at 10 a.m. tomorrow. These two teams looking for a spot in the semifinals at 11:30 tomorrow. They'll face the winner of HSC and Penn. Spartans lead by 2 after 1 quarter play. Braxton Hall and Atticus Dean with you. Mac Welker with it for Homestead as they get the ball to begin this second quarter. Welker, a lot of contact. He's going to be heading back to the free throw line.
And Welker just getting downhill. Oftentimes he gets around you with his lengthy first step, and not a whole lot you can do if you're defending him other than foul.
So Welker, his second trip to the stripe in this game. And first free throw is nothing but net from Mac Welker.
And I believe they got Laney with the fouls, so that's 2 fouls early for him, so most likely he's going to be out for an extended time. We'll wait and see, though.
Oh, right now he's on the floor, so he's going to stay out there. The leading scorer for the Trojans. Maybe right now Coach Hahn just figuring he can't take out his best score at a time like this as Welker goes 2 of 2 from the line. He's got 7 points now in this first half, and Homestead's strong free throw shooting in this game continues as three-pointer on the way. That time it's no good. Welker will get the rebound for the Spartans. Ball coming to Coleman on the near side. He'll toss it over to Dollins. And now Welker, right block, right hand, no good. And a rebound from Jude Owen. I will say, so far in this game, Mac Welker looking back to his usual self as he's been putting up some big numbers. South trying to do that as well, but can't hit there.
Yeah, you mentioned just the big thing is Welker looks much more aggressive out there. He looks like he's demanding the ball when he gets it. He's moving with a purpose. He's getting downhill. He's not causing any hesitation for his team.
Three-pointer short that time from Immel, and an easy rebound for Alvey. We'll bring it up into the front court. Head fake here from Owen. Toss it to Goodpaster. Now South in the near corner. He's going to go baseline. And the 3 Spartans on him will just throw it out of bounds off of Immel.
A nice heads-up play there by South as nothing was doing on that baseline. So just give his team a chance to reset after throwing it off a Spartan.
Inbound coming here from Alvey. Now he'll get it back. He's looking to get to the cup off the back of the rim. No good. And Welker gets the rebound for Homestead. He's looking to get downhill now, and he's going to run through a Trojan, and this is going to be a blocking foul called on the floor, as that'll go against Goodpaster, and that is going to be his first. Baseline inbound here from Dollins. And he throws it in to McNeese. And now Immel with it. Over to the left. Dollins in the corner will go out to Kuhlman. Jake Kuhlman, 5 points in this game so far for the Spartans. Tosses it back to Dollins. McNeese back to Immel. He'll turn around and go to Kuhlman. McNeese with the ball again. Kuhlman now is going to take a shot, and that one good over to Laney. Jake Kuhlman now with 8 points.
And Kuhlman to start the year wasn't looking to score as much as he has been as of late, and he's been knocking them down. As that South Bend Riley game, even though they lost, he had 19, and ever since then he's been much more confident looking for those three-pointers, and he's been hitting them in them corners.
On the other end, a three-pointer answer back here from Owen.
The Spartans are trying to pull away, but the Trojans just doing a good job of keeping themselves in striking distance. Around 4 points has been about the average deficit for Center Grove in this first half.
Welker with it on the left block, tosses it to Immel. Now Kuhlman fakes a shot and goes to McNeese. Double team comes, it leaves Dollins open on the wing, and he takes advantage of it.
Just the offense of the Spartans looks much better in this game compared to their last outing against Leo. They're getting down low and they're kicking out for their shooters. That makes it so much easier to hit those threes when you're getting 2 feet in the paint and then kicking out. It just opens up your offensive game tremendously.
And the official blew it dead here, and I think they're going to send South over to the sideline.
I believe he has blood. He might have blood on his shorts. Not sure if he's the one bleeding, got a cut or what, but I mean, it's easier to see the blood on the white jerseys of the Trojans, so that's what I saw from this angle.
Third game in a row we've seen him get stopped for a player bleeding out on the floor, so he'll just briefly go to the sideline and have someone check in for him for the time being as the Trojans trail by 7. We'll retain possession of the ball here after the official's whistle. Turn around here to Oliver. He's one of those players who just checked in for the Trojans, and that is going to be a foul here on Homestead. And they're going to get Weaver for that one. They call it on the floor, however, so it will be a baseline inbound coming for Center Grove. First foul of the night on Weaver. Owen with it up top. We'll hand it off. Three-pointer on the way for Center Grove. That's short from Alvey. And then out of bounds for Homestead ball.
And Alvey's been hitting some tough shots, but they're just not able to get enough on it from deep. And now Homestead has an opportunity to extend their lead even more. They need to take advantage of these southless minutes for Center Grove, as South has been doing wonders for the Trojans early, and with him out, Homestead needs to attack.
Welker left side and the right-handed finish. Back to the leading scorer for Homestead with 9 points in this one. Homestead's lead, the largest it's been, at a 9-point advantage. In the hands of Oliver now. Passed over to the right. Three-pointer on the way from Alvey. That's short off the rim. And Welker gets the defensive rebound for the Spartans. Now looking to take it on the offensive end. Can't convert, and it'll go back to Center Grove. And we're going to get a whistle here in the back court, and it looks like that was a timeout called by Coach Hahn. Maybe he'll be looking to put South back into the game as he is back on the sideline. But 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here as Trojans call their second one of the game in this one. And right now it's all Homestead in the second quarter.
Yeah, the Trojans just settling for these tough jump shots rather than getting downhill. As Homestead, they've been getting to the rim. Their dribble drive game has been much improved since their last time out against Leo, and that's helped them get this 9-point lead. As when you get down low, you either have a layup or you can kick out. Once the defense collapses, you have a wide open shooter, and that's not been happening for the Trojans. They've been settling for these tough jumpers as they haven't been able to get 2 feet in the paint in a long time.
So it'll be Center Grove ball following the timeout. 3:40 left here in this first half. And the ball thrown into the backcourt. The Trojans will go back to work. Laney with it here for Center Grove. Tosses over to his left. South is back into the game, so maybe a reason why that timeout was called. Stark just checking into the game. He'll take the three-pointer and hit it.
And you see there, South immediately gets inside the paint, forces the Spartans defense to collapse a little bit, and it leaves a wide open Stark for a routine three. And that's been a difference in this one, and that's sort of the big element that South brings, just someone that can bring the Spartans defense in.
And the ball knocked free here by Oliver, but the Spartans do hang on to it. Weaver, a little bit of space. He'll spin around, go up with it, and that goes out of bounds. It was deflected, though, by Oliver, so it'll stay with the Spartans.
And Weaver not able to work some magic down low. Like the look he got off the spin, but good defense from the Trojans to recover.
Ball in the hands of Welker at the free throw line. He's going to take the jumper off the back of the rim, and the rebound goes to Center Grove as Oliver will bring it up to the floor. Turn it around here to South. Passed over to the left in the hands of Baxter. Now right side. South with the ball again. And he'll bounce it to Laney. And Laney's going to have the ball here. Go baseline to South. Back and up off the front of the rim. No good. Trying to go back up, but Welker is right there to deny him that.
And tough layup attempts there from South, just in the heart of the Spartans defense, and Welker able to rotate over and knock that one out of bounds.
South inbound it here on the baseline. 2:19 left in the first half. And that's going to be a 5-second violation, just taking too long, and Homestead forces the turnover. Another substitution going to be made here as it looks like Grayson Alvey is going to check back in for the Trojans, and Reese Oliver will be the one going to the bench for Center Grove. Kuhlman will bring it up the front court for the Spartans. Now to Welker and Immel. Back to Kuhlman. For somebody to go with the ball. He's going to take it himself to the paint or just outside of it and float it up, nothing but net.
And tough bucket there by Kuhlman that slowed down Euro step into the floater.
On the far side, Alvey passes it to Stark, and that is no good. Center Grove has scored just 3 points in the last 3 minutes. Kuhlman has it for the Spartans, and it's tossed over to Welker. Now Weaver to Immel. Into Welker inside. Leaves Immel a little bit open. Right now you see Trojans a lot of times having two players collapse to the ball carrier. Immel can't get it to go. Got a decent look, but rolls off the rim. Up ahead, Baxter has it. Now South. He's going to start a dribble inside the arc. Split two defenders. Pass it out to Stark. Free throw line pass out to Baxter. He fires it down low. Wide open. Laney gets it for the Trojans.
And great pass there from Baxter to a wide open Laney, and just a defensive lapse there from the Spartans.
1 minute to go here in this first half. Homestead leads by 6. Brogan McNeese throws it away there. I don't know if he was trying to get it to Welker or what, but it goes right to Lane. He's looking to go end to end and out of bounds, and it went off his foot. So Homestead catches a break. The turnover doesn't hurt him.
And there, Laney on the drive, just playing a little bit too fast. Want to control your pace a little bit more, as you really didn't have a shot there. So just slowing things down and resetting to hold and not give the Spartans as much time, as more than likely they might hold for the last shot here, as Coach Johnson and his team like to hold even if there's 40 seconds left.
Weaver with it at the midcourt logo, passes it over to him. We saw Homestead do that in the first quarter. They held for a while. Kuhlman with it. Of course, that led to a situation where they were barely able to get a shot off, and Welker did not get a very good look. McNeese fires it back now to Weaver, 15 on the clock. Kuhlman starts a dribble. Guarded tightly by Laney. Backed up to the timeline, and he hasn't knocked free. South has it for the Trojans. Opportunity to run. Hesitation goes up, and that hesitation might have thrown him off a little bit as he was trying to check the clock, and instead, Trojans end up with no points. We'll take another look out of here. You see Kuhlman just has it poked free. Then South had a free run at the basket, but I think he was trying to check the time and it threw him off.
And not only was he checking the time, he saw Welker right behind him. And when you have a shot blocker like Welker there, you have to throw off your pace a little bit to avoid getting blocked. And that hesitation just threw off his own timing, so just flicked it off the backboard, and a missed opportunity there for the Trojans. But nonetheless, only a 6-point deficit. Considering the circumstances, I say that's a win.
Yeah, 2-possession ball game. Center Grove, despite the struggles, they are very much still in this game. 24-18, Homestead leads at the half.
Air National Guard allows you to serve your state and country just one weekend a month while living your everyday life the other 28 days. You can earn up to $1,200 a month and get 100% of your college tuition paid for. For more information, search Fort Wayne Black Snakes on Facebook or Instagram, or call 260-478-3247 to connect with a recruiter today.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
The Air National Guard allows you to serve your state and country just one weekend a month while living your everyday life the other 28 days. You can earn up to $1,200 a month and get 100% of your college tuition paid for. For more information, search Fort Wayne Black Snakes on Facebook or Instagram, or call 260-478-3247 to connect with a recruiter today.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Welcome into the OPS Halftime Report. Braxton Hall and Atticus Dean with you as the Homestead Spartans lead the Center Grove Trojans 24-18 here in quarterfinal number 3. And we have an updated look at the tournament bracket now, as finally Mount Vernon and South Bend St. Joe has gone final in double overtime. Mount Vernon gets the come-from-behind victory. So semifinal number 1 is set, Zionsville and Mount Vernon. That's a tasty prospect right there.
Yeah, that'll be a very fun game as Zionsville, they have a roster loaded with guys that play the role and can do it extremely well. And then Mount Vernon, obviously you have Purdue commit on your team and then the supporting cast as well, so should be a fun one.
We'll have that one for you at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Penn and Hamilton Southeastern literally just tipped off because that game went so long. So that's the final quarterfinal of the day. That's over in the Victory Gym. Right now, Homestead looking like they're going to be the team that could clinch a spot, be the third team to clinch a spot in the semifinals, although the Trojans very much still in this game as some of the individual stats. Clint South was the leading scorer for Center Grove in that first half with 6 points, and then behind him, Braden Stark had 3, Grayson Alvey had 4, Xavier Laney had a couple as well. For Homestead, it's been a lot of the usual suspects. Jake Coleman had 10 first half points. Mac Welker had 9 for the Spartans. Then you have Sky Dollins with 3, and also Ryder Emmel with a pair for Homestead. So I think this is similar to what we expected coming into this game. Homestead with a 2-score lead here at halftime of this game. What's been going right for them so far?
Well, they've been much better at getting downhill and getting in the paint, getting those paint touches, whether it be with Welker or even Kuhlman on the dribble drive. That was something they lacked against Leo, as Leo's zone really threw them off and made them hesitate and not able to get to their usual spots. Well, in this game, they're getting to their spots and they're hitting their shots. And I know I've been talking about it a lot in the first half, but it's just so much easier to knock down threes when you get a kick out off of a drive. You've seen it. Dollins had a 3 off of a kick out. Kuhlman's got some good looks off of it. And same with the Trojans. I mean, when South has gone down low and kicked out, they've gone 3. So that's been a big thing for both teams, but especially Homestead. They've done a much better job at getting down low and being the aggressors.
Something that's been big so far is just someone like Matt Welker getting back into things for Homestead in this game, and Jake Kuhlman, who's been a little bit down this year compared to last season, at least in the scoring department, not necessarily as a player, but in the scoring department, he's got 10 first half points. So that is big. And some of these team stats, both teams shooting pretty well from three. Homestead 40%, Center Grove 43% from the field. Center Grove actually a little bit better, 41 compared to 38. Homestead's 2 of 3 at the free throw line in this game. And then looking at turnovers, Center Grove has 2 more and Homestead has 3 more rebounds, but a lot of these stats are pretty even right now.
Yeah, both teams extremely even, but it's just the little things, turnovers and rebounding. I mean, even though it's small differences, those one extra rebound, one less turnover, they add up, and those can turn into 2 4-point swings. And so far, Homestead has been on the beneficiary end of that. But second half is the Trojans, and they know the situation. I assume they're going to come out much more aggressive and try to get some more Spartan errors to turn into turnovers. That's been a huge thing that they've lacked. They've lacked at forcing the Spartans to hesitate or stop for a second and think about what they want to do. So it's up to the Trojans to be the aggressors in the second half.
It'll be Center Grove basketball to begin this third quarter, so a chance to come out here and quickly put some points on the board and maybe shift a little bit of the pressure towards Homestead. So here we go, 6-point game to begin this third quarter. Winner to the semifinal tomorrow against either HSC or Penn. That'll be an 11:30 a.m. tip-off. South up top, tosses it over to his left to Laney at the free throw line. He'll turn around and go to Baxter. He spins and out to Alvey. He's going to pick up his dribble, turn around Laney, and a three-pointer on its way. That's off the mark from Baxter. Nothing but the glass on that shot. So Trojans come up empty to begin the second half. Emma with it for Homestead, throws over to Welker, and now to Kuhlman as he rolls towards his right. Baxter comes off of him defensively, and now the pass over to Emil. Now Brogan McNeese over to Weaver. Kuhlman in the corner, maybe thought about it for just a split second. Now he's going to dribble, drive, turn around, and go to McNeese. Drive now from him, out to Emil. Free throw line, jumper is good. Ryder Emil had a jumper early on in the first quarter. It opens up the second half with the jumper as well.
That's just a tough shot there from the sophomore. One dribble, little fadeaway at the free throw line. And if you're the Trojans, obviously you don't want to give up an easy shot, but that's not an easy shot at all. That's just a tough shot maker hitting a tough shot. You just kind of have to let that go if you're Center Grove.
South got Weaver off his feet momentarily, but didn't take the shot. Now Baxter has it. Albee floats it to Goodpaster. Now South runs into Kuhlman. Ball's on the ground, and it goes out of bounds eventually. Who was the last one to touch it? And it looks like it was Homestead, so Center Grove retains possession.
And Kuhlman there did a great job of being the help side defender, as South's been trying to drive on that baseline multiple times tonight, and Kuhlman read it perfectly, forcing the ball to go out of bounds.
Albee will back it up to midcourt here. Minute and a half gone in this third quarter. Baxter hands it off to South. He's got space for a three, and he took his time and hits it.
And the Spartans have to do a better job of communicating on those screens. They need to start forcing South to put the ball on the ground and go over those screens rather than give up a wide open three.
Emil gets it off the pass from Weaver, but then it's taken away by Alvey. It's a 2-on-2. South right hand banks it in off the glass, and it's a one-possession ball game.
And once again, South in his heroics, keeping the Trojans in this one and then some.
And then Baxter knocks it free, but it will stay with Homestead. Spartans sputtering a little bit here to begin the second half. How about that finish from South? A good find and takeaway by Alvey.
Yeah, great job there by Alvey to get the steal, and then wide open layup for South.
And Welker no good. Kuhlman gets the offensive board, passes it off to Emma, who gets downhill. That's off the mark, and this is looking very reminiscent of Monday night so far. Homestead builds a first half advantage, but so far a slow start to the second half. It's keeping Center Grove in this game instead of Homestead just trying to put the game away early on in the third quarter.
Yeah, you mentioned it, just almost like a sequel to that Leo game. It's the same thing continuing to happen for Homestead. As you mentioned, they build themselves a nice lead, but they just come out flat to start the second half, and that just can't happen in such a close game against a tough competitor such as Center Grove.
In the hands of Alvey here. A chance to potentially tie the game on this possession. South, right block goes up. Coolman says not this possession as he blocks it away. Thrown ahead to McNeese. He goes up left-handed, count the bucket, and one more coming his way.
And a great job there by the Spartans, turning defense into quick offense as Coolman gets the block, and then McNeese running the floor and rewarding the big man for his efforts as now he goes to the line to potentially tack on another one.
And perhaps more importantly, Laney picks up his third foul now. So he's getting into some major foul trouble, just one more to give. And McNeese hits the free throw to complete the three-point play. His brother, Braylon, will take his place out on the floor. And Homestead's lead back to where it was to begin the second half, a 6-point advantage. Laney was forced to come to the bench after that third foul. Stark passes it to South. Now Goodpaster hands it off to Stark. Alvey, Euro, kicks out. Stark's open over Emmel, and that's good. Easy bucket for him.
And once again, the dribble drive into the kick out for the Trojans as a wide open Stark knocks down his second one of the game.
And he's right around 50% this year from three, so easy pickings for him when he's got that wide open shot. Braylon McNeese throws over to Emmel. Now far side, Welker three-pointer, that's strong, and again Center Grove has the ball, down by just one possession. South with it. At the top, he's going to go off to his right. Pick up the dribble, throw it in the hands of Alvey. Hesitation, he works to the right side, goes out to South, open three, we're tied at 29. Clint South putting on a clinic with 14 points in this one.
And the Trojans just making the Spartans pay for sending the extra help on the drive. Just another wide open three for the Trojans, and they are making a statement in this third quarter.
Welker with it, hands it off to Coolman. He's going to try to answer back with a triple of his own. That's strong. Homestead is ice cold from beyond the arc at the moment, and really from the field in general. Just 5 points into this third quarter. Homestead's shooting percentage has fallen to 41%, while the Trojans are sitting at a cool 50% now in this one. South, he's going to try another triple. That one's off the mark, testing his luck. McNeese tips it out to Coolman, though, for the Homestead rebound. Now McNeese has it. Dollins is open. Three-pointer, that one off the mark once again. Spartans' three-point percentage now down below 30%.
Yeah, right now, Homestead just settling for the threes rather than get to the bucket for some easy layups.
McNeese has the ball. And we have a dead ball here. As I think they're going to talk about maybe a potential flop warning here. And it looks like that's the signal to the scores table. And that is going to be what it is, a flop warning called against. Flop warning going to be called here, so just a warning, it'll be Homestead basketball still.
I believe they got on Dollins as he was the one getting posted up there and trying to sell it, maybe get a foul, but nonetheless ends up being Spartan basketball, so bit of a break there for Homestead.
And going forward, that would be a technical foul, but just a warning on the first occurrence, and a turnover here as, again, Homestead not doing much. Didn't even get a look at a shot that time. Center Grove will get the ball back, and Homestead's offensive struggles in this third quarter continue. Alvey with it for the Trojans. Goes up top to Stark. Now back to Alvey on the wing. Goodpaster will get it, guarded by Welker. He'll go over to Baxter. 2.5 to play in this third quarter. Baxter out to Stark. Three-pointer for the lead. Not this time. Goodpaster offensive board put back. That doesn't get the roll. Welker gets the rebound for Homestead. They got numbers here. Emmel up ahead to McNeese. He's going to take the three in transition, and that one is cashed by Braylon McNeese.
And that was a big-time shot there by McNeese to slow the run that the Trojans have been making, and even though the shot went in, still settling for a three-point jumper when you have the numbers advantage. A risky shot, but nonetheless, McNeese gets it to go.
Homestead needed that to get back on track. South blocked away, but that's touched by Homestead. And as we take another look here, South able to get up, and it was sent back there by Homestead's defense. Trojans have not been able to gain the lead since they led 1-0 early on in this game. Haven't led it since, but they've clawed back into this down just 3, and we're tying just about 30 seconds ago. South on the wing. 1:45 left in this third quarter. Now Owen has the ball. Go out to South. Owen sets a screen and now rolls. Fires it out to Baxter. He's not going to take that shot, but I'll pass it over to Alvey. He'll go left block. Turn around, and that is good with a kiss off the rib.
And another tough shot there by Alvey, getting down low and just one-legged fadeaway for the Trojans.
Dollins on the near corner. Goes to Welker, left block, back to Dollins. Now Braylon McNeese. So we had a 3 from a couple possessions ago. Kuhlman. 65 seconds left here in this third quarter. Dollins goes to Welker up top. He's going to dribble to the right. Braylon McNeese. Dollins. Rolls left. Hands off to Welker. Now Kuhlman between the circles. Left side, Dollins. Hesitation. 45 seconds now on the clock. Dollins dribbles, goes to Welker. Left block. Might Homestead just hold for the final luck at this point? They've done it the first 2 quarters. Welker not going to do it this time. Can't get it to go. Off the rim. Trojans have it. Down by just 1. Homestead has put up just 8 points in this third quarter. And Center Grove is going to have a chance to take the lead going to the fourth. Alvey passes to Stark. Now in the hands of Baxter. He'll roll towards the left. Just going to let the clock wind down a little bit. South. Put it in his hands with 10 on the clock. He'll bounce it over to Alvey. Down to 7. He's going to drive, and a foul called here against Homestead. They're going to get that one on Kuhlman. That'll be just his first. Homestead has 2 more fouls to give if they want to use them. We saw this was a strategy employed against South Bend Riley a couple weeks ago, where he commit these fouls on purpose to allow their team to get a shot off. Baxter inbound on the side out. Knocked away by Dollins. Kuhlman has it for Homestead. Over to Dollins. He's going to go up at the buzzer. That's no good. Put back. Didn't go either. I don't think it was off in time anyways. And so we've got a 1-point game after 3 quarters of play. 32-31. Homestead leads, but the Trojans have very much made this a ball game in quarterfinal 3 at the BSN Sports Homestead Holiday Tournament.
Rethink your limits.
Getting ready for the fourth quarter and quarterfinal number 3 of the Homestead Holiday Tournament. As the Homestead Spartans, the hosts, they're leading, but a little bit of trouble as they find themselves up 32-31 over Center Grove. Real quick, want to give an update. Quarterfinal number 4, about to start the second quarter. Penn leads HSC 13-11. So that one about 2 quarters behind this one, as it's all to play for in the final 8 minutes, and Mac Welker scores for the Spartans to begin the period.
And these first couple minutes of this fourth quarter are going to be the most important ones, as you got to set the tone after a lackluster third quarter from Homestead. You have to come out and dominate early in this fourth.
Laney bounces it over to his right in the hands of Owen. Now in the hands of South, crosses up Donlands, free throw line jumper on the way. That doesn't get the roll off the rim. And Braylon McNeese gets the rebound for the Spartans. Now Kuhlman will take it up across the timeline. Calling out an offensive play. We'll toss it over to Welker at the volleyball line. Now over to the right. Immel has it on the wing. Back to Kuhlman. 45 seconds gone here in this fourth quarter. Bounce down to Welker on the right block. Back to Kuhlman. Guarded by Baxter. Welker will get it in the corner. And McNeese goes over to Immel. 3-point advantage for the Spartans, trying to extend this lead against Center Grove. Kuhlman tosses it over to Braylon McNeese. He had a big 3-pointer last quarter. Welker left block, goes up and rattles it in. And a timeout might be called. We're going to get a whistle here, and this might be a technical down on the floor. And it is a technical foul. Going to be called on Braylon McNeese, it looks like. And you see him there kind of dumbfounded. And we're going to have to get another look at what happened as McNeese picks up a tee, and that's huge. As it's going to be Center Grove free throws. Big question will be, basket does count, so Homestead still gets those 2 points from Welker, and South, a rare free throw miss.
And I'm not sure if what I think may have happened is McNeese may have said something after the tough Welker bucket, might have said "and one" or something to that extent, and ref didn't like it, so he gets teed up, but I'm still not entirely sure. But now McNeese is going to come out, so bit of a big loss for Homestead. He's been playing well, especially defensively, just being another force on the glass.
Honestly, Coach Johnson doesn't seem that mad at McNeese, so that tells me it probably was something more verbal. I didn't see him do any actions out on the floor or anything like that. And usually you would see Coach Johnson get really furious at his players when they commit a technical. But regardless, Center Grove just goes 1 and 2 at the line and doesn't get any points otherwise. Welker, Euro step off the rim, gets his own miss, knocked free, and a foul called against Center Grove. And they're going to get that one against Baxter.
Then a great move by Welker. Not able to get the initial look to go, but great effort by him to extend the play, and now finds his way at the free throw line.
So Mac Welker will get a trip to the line this time. Third time he's been there tonight. He's got 13 points so far in this one. Foul's the first of the evening for Baxter. Welker's first free throw on its way, and that one nothing but net. So up to 14 points now is he. Spartans as a team shooting 67% from the line this year. Looks like Stark is going to check in now for Center Grove. He's got 6 points so far on the night. Welker for his second free throw. That one pushes the Homestead lead to 6, and he's got 15 of those himself. 38-32, 6.5 minutes left to play in this quarterfinal matchup. Baxter in the backcourt to Always. Stark open in the corner, 3, doesn't get the roll, tipped out, and Welker's there for Homestead. It's a one-on-one against Baxter. He's going to Euro, and he's going to be fouled and go into the free throw line for the second possession in a row.
They're just great transition offense from Welker, not able to get the shot to go, but once again getting back to the free throw line, so opportunity to get some more easy points as the defense of the Spartans is really turning up in the early minutes of this fourth quarter and turning their stops into quick offense.
Second possession in a row. Baxter is the one who picks up the foul against Welker, and another made free throw here for Mac Welker. Welker has now made his last 3. Going back for another one. And that time it's short. Baxter will get the rebound here for the Trojans into the front court. Hand it off to Stark. He'll roll towards the left. Now South in the hands of Laney. Free throw line. Welker knocks it free. Homestead's defense is stepping up now. Advance to Kuhlman. He'll attack on 2 more.
And once again, turning defense into offense, forcing a timeout from the Trojans as offensively for Center Grove, they're in the penitentiary right now, not able to go anywhere.
The largest we've heard the crowd tonight. Homestead's lead up to 9. 5:49 remains in regulation.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
.549 remains in this quarterfinal matchup between the Homestead Spartans and the Center Grove Trojans. A quarterfinal here at the 2025 BSN Sports Homestead Holiday Tournament. Braxton Hall and Atticus Dean with you. And look, Homestead, their transition game has been on point here in the fourth quarter. The defense playing well, and that's leading to the offensive buckets.
And whenever the Spartans can turn that defense into offense, they are playing their best basketball. It's something they struggled with in their most recent games, specifically just their transition offense. They haven't been able to find it as much as they were able to in their early games of the year, but picking it up at the right time to push their lead even further over the Trojans, who fought back but now face a similar deficit.
Center Grove going to have to lock in big time here in the final 5.5 minutes of this game. Stark, he's been part of their offensive success. Not this time, though. And Weaver, the last one to touch it, and no foul. So, Center Grove ball.
And Stark had started 2 of 2 from deep, but has missed his last 3. And for the Trojans, they really need him to start knocking some of these down. As he's getting quality looks, he's not able to hit them. And those threes are big time if you were able to knock them down.
Well, Center Grove's field goal shooting as a whole has dropped significantly. This team was at 50% at one point early on here in the second half. It has now dropped down to the 39% mark. Meanwhile, Homestead's gone up from 41 to 46. Simple math tells me if you're making more shots, you're probably going to win the game, and that's been the case so far.
That is the ultimate fundamental rule of basketball there, and it holds up in this game as Center Grove, they're getting the looks, just not able to knock them down like they were in that third quarter where they made it a 1-point game. So even just the free throws not able to fall, as well as Trojans have just gone ice cold when they need to hit their shots at the most.
Weaver picked up his third foul. And 0 of 2 at the line that time for Center Grove. Those are the shots you've got to have right now. And they dropped to 2 of 5 at the free throw line now in this game. Weaver's going to feed Welker. Unselfish basketball, but maybe would have been better to take it himself as Welker can't finish. On the other end, a bump, and this is going the other way. Offensive foul on Xavier Laney.
And Dollins putting his body on the line, but now he's slow to get up as it took a hard fall on his back.
Yeah, did not land in a very good way. I think he's going to be okay, just shaken up, and he is going to get up here for Homestead. And at the moment, no substitution for him. And that looks like he's going to stay out on the floor. So I feel like we say this at least once a game each of the last 2 seasons, but Sky Donald's drawing a charge there. He is something he's become very, very good at for Homestead.
Yeah, that's been one of his roles. I mean, he's got more confident shooting as the season has gone on, but he's always been a guy just to put his body on the line. You have to have people like that. When you have people that are ball dominant and scorers like Kuhlman and Welker, you have to find ways to fit into the puzzle, and Dons has done that beautifully by putting his body on the line and drawing those charges.
And a foul called against Stark here early on in this possession. That'll be his first for Center Grove. 4th team foul. So on the next one, Homestead will be in the bonus the remainder of the evening, and just under 5 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Emmel has it for the Spartans and has it pickpocketed from behind. Baxter comes flying in, and Emmel stops a bucket but commits a foul in the process.
And there, Emmel just didn't know anyone was coming behind, as he didn't have any idea, and not the greatest communication there by the Spartans, but great job by Emmel by sprinting back and preventing the easy layup and forcing the Trojans to go earn those 2 points.
And we've seen the free throw struggles from Center Grove in this game, so yeah, you mentioned it. Make them earn it at the line. First free throw coming up here for Baxter, and that one is good.
And for Center Grove, if Baxter knocks down the second free throw, I expect them to go into a full court pressure, as they have been as of late, and especially off of a made free throw. It's easier to get that defense set up, just pick up full court and try to force a Spartan turnover.
Well, you called it there. Here is the full court pressure here from Center Grove, down by 7, 4.5 minutes remain. Immel with it now for Homestead as Center Grove backs off just a little bit. Dollins will get it now. Defensive switch, but he has some space. Baxter chasing from behind. A bump. Dollins gets the bucket. And one. Morgan rewarded for his physical play tonight.
And once again, just Dollins not shying away from contact, going in to Laney, drawing the foul. And that's 4 on Laney. No, that might be his 5th, actually.
Yeah, and they're double-checking the scorers table. And that is going to be the 5th foul called on Laney. I think they added one more to him at some point because he originally, that would have been his 4th. So I do think they added one to him in the scorebook. And Laney fouls out. The leading scorer for Center Grove is now gone for the final 4:26 of this ball game as Dollins misses the and one opportunity. Trojans get the rebound and Kuhlman commits a foul for Homestead. But that is really huge. I mean, Center Grove, as you see, Welker and Kuhlman ran into each other.
I think there's a wet spot on the court. There's Welker took a tumble there, sliding in to Kuhlman.
Yeah, there you go. They're going to get that one toweled up. Little friendly fire in that situation. So I'll take a moment to clean that up. I was about to say, but Center Grove has been really struggling without Laney in the game. I know he's only had a couple points tonight, but he's drawn a lot of the attention of Homestead. They've done better when he's out on the floor, and now you're trying to make a 9-point comeback without your leading scorer.
Even though Laney, you mentioned struggling to score tonight, he just has that gravity. He forces the Spartans defense to respect him and help off less and open up the court for the rest of his team. But with him gone, it's going to be on someone else to step up and try to fill that void that Laney being gone provides.
South three-pointer. He's been quiet in the second half, especially this fourth quarter, and that's going to remain the case for the time being. Kuhlman met by Baxter. A trap comes. Kuhlman, and we're going to get a timeout called by Coach Johnson, as he's known for doing that when his guys getting a pickle out on the floor. Full timeout just under midway through this fourth quarter. Homestead's lead is 9, trying to advance to the semifinals of the Homestead Holiday Tournament.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Back here at Spartan Arena in the 4th annual BSN Sports Homestead Holiday Tournament. Braxton Hall and Atticus Dean with you as Homestead, the hosts of this tournament, lead 43-34 over Center Grove in quarterfinal number 3. And 4:06 remaining. Center Grove going to need to start putting points on the board quickly right now. They almost were able to force a turnover. That's why Homestead had to burn their first time out of this game. But it's a tough situation to be in, knowing you commit any more fouls, you're sending Homestead to the free throw. It's actually even the case for both teams the remainder of this game. Center Grove will be in the bonus on the next Homestead foul. But when you're trying to get takeaways and be aggressive, it's more likely to occur. And we'll see what Center Grove can do defensively. And, of course, offensively, it's just been a struggle bus in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's hard to be as aggressive as you would like when you're sending the team to the bonus, and then they're just not knocking down the shots that they were in that first half, and they need to now more than ever.
How about Sky Dobbins, an offensive board there? He's been everywhere in this fourth quarter for Holmes, to give him the MVP of at least this last 5-minute stretch for the Spartans. As Em will go over to Dobbins now, who feeds Welker. He's not going to take the shot right now. Instead, he'll throw it out to Emil at the midcourt logo. Bounce to Kuhlman. He'll step up. Weaver in the corner. Welker to left block. Goes up right hand. Short putback is good.
And that zone of the Trojans, it's trying to force a turnover, but if Homestead continues to get the ball down low to Welker, he's going to have a one-on-one matchup, and you saw there, even though he missed the initial, just able to rise up and get the second chance to go.
Homestead gets the lead to double digits for the first time here in the second half, and South really short that time. He has just done nothing in this fourth quarter despite having 15 points into this game, and out of bounds it'll stay with Homestead here. We're going to get some substitutions. Goodpaster going to be checking back in now for the Trojans.
And for Center Grove, I'd like to see them trap a little bit more aggressively. They're sending 2 eventually, but they're hesitating a little bit, and Homestead struggled against Leo's zone when they were immediately blitzing and sending the double team. And if you want to force turnovers, that's the way to do it rather than half-heartedly send a double.
Welker with it at the volleyball line. Will dribble on the right side, and he traveled with it, trying to do a Euro. They're going to say he dragged that right foot, I believe, and that's going to send it to Center Grove. Alvey with it, fires over to Stark in the corner. Now to Baxter, down to South. 2.5 minutes to play. Alvey will have the ball. Getting a screen from Goodpaster. Not a lot of urgency right now from the Trojans. Alvey's going to take a long 2. That's off the mark. And it kicks out of bounds off of South as him and Immel are going for the ball, and it'll be Homestead ball.
In Center Grove offensively, they're hesitating as they haven't been able to knock down their outside shots, so they're trying to find a way to get to the basket, but the defense of Homestead just doing a good job of disabling that.
Takeaway here for Baxter, then Dollins. A foul immediately that is going to send Baxter to the free throw line with 2:08 remaining.
And this is a way to kickstart things for your offense that's struggling. Just go to the free throw line, get some easy buckets. That's a easy way to get some momentum back on your side. And once again, off the free throws, if Baxter hits at least the second one, they're going to continue that full court pressure. I mean, it just got a turnover out of the Homestead, so continue to send it.
Just saw in the top left of your screen that HSC and Penn has gone to halftime. It's the final quarterfinal tonight over in the Victory Gym, and Penn holds the lead 26-24 right now. It's a rematch of a game from a year ago. Baxter gets the first free throw, second one good as well. So he's got 4 points. And now Kuhlman with it, thrown to Dollins. Will spin around, trap comes. Welker goes up with his right hand. That's off the mark, loose ball. Center Grove has it down by 9. They still have a shot in this game. Just got to start scoring quickly. Alvey off the mark. Putback goes over the hoop from Baxter.
And Baxter thought there was some contact on the putback, but no call from the officials, and another scoring-less possession.
Welker has it now. He'll bounce it over to Weaver. Fired over to Immel in the corner. And they're going to say a timeout was called by Coach Johnson with 1:39 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Spartans second called timeout in this game. Full timeout, so we'll take it right along with them. Homestead leads by 9, trying to close out this quarterfinal game against Center Grove.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Homestead basketball following the timeout with 1:39 remaining in regulation. The Spartans lead by 9. They have 3 timeouts left in their back pocket. Any fouls from here on out would send these teams to the free throw line the remainder of the evening. Kuhlman gets it to Dollins, and here is the first intentional foul from Center Grove. So Sky Dollins will go to the stripe, where he's taken just 4 free throws this year coming into tonight, where he's 2 of 4. Of course, he made an and 1 earlier on in the evening. First free throw from Dollins is good. So he's having one of his better performances tonight, especially when you consider his defensive effort as well, even his off-ball presence offensively. Second free throw just short, so he'll stay on 6 points for the night. But an offensive rebound, that might be the last breath for Center Grove. Down by 10. Dollins gets it, and he is going to be fouled once again. We'll go right back to the line. You notice in for Homestead now is Gavin Wells, playing his 4th game this season. And this guy Dollins really can put a bow on this one with a couple made free throws here. And the first one rattles in. Tournament action continues tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. when the semifinals get underway. We know Zionsville will be in the first game against Mount Vernon, and Homestead looking like they're going to be in the second semifinal against either HSC or Penn, which follows at 11:30. Center Grove is trying to get into that semifinal game. They're going to need some help here in the final 1:12 of this one. Stark has it, guarded by Emmel, thrown out now to South. He's going to step back, not take the shot, go out to Stark. We tick down to 1 minute remaining. Alvey throws it out, but out of bounds, not able to find Stark. They are going to say it was deflected by Homestead, though, so Center Grove retains possession with 58.6 on the clock. South inbounds it. Scoreless fourth quarter from him. Alvey goes up left-handed and gets that one to fall in, and one of those 2 remaining timeouts is called here by Coach Hahn. Is Alvey able to get back on the scoring sheet? He's got 8 points and a full timeout, down by 9. Center Grove not done yet, but it's going to take a lot of help with 52.6 remaining. .6 remains here in quarterfinal number 3. Homestead leading Center Grove 47-38. You see a look inside the Center Grove huddle there as they try to devise a game plan to get back into this game. Just been a rough third quarter. They played great basketball, got this down to a tied ball game after trailing by as much as 9, but now it's back to a 9-point deficit as Homestead's had this in double digits at 1 point. Weaver is going to be fouled, and he will go to the free throw line. One of the guys you probably do want to foul, he's just 33% this year. Of course, the freshman standing at 6'1" for the Spartans, starting in his freshman year. Something we don't see a whole lot from Homestead players, but 3 of the guys on the floor right now started as freshmen. Of course, Mason Weaver's one of them, and then the other 2 right next to him, Jake Coleman and Mac Welker, they starting actually during the holiday tournament back in 2023. I hope turn Homestead's season around at least somewhat, as no free throws made there from Weaver on that trip, so it was the right guy to foul. Here's South, got to get a quick bucket. He'll turn it around. Good pass to three-pointer, does just that. Hang on now, Center Grove might not be done. It's a 6-point game. And right now, Coach Hahn chooses not to use that final timeout. Welker goes to Emmel, thrown ahead to Dollins. Weaver's calling for it. They're not going to give him the ball at this moment. Ryder Emmel has it. He'll be fouled by South. And Emmel a 77% free throw shoot. It's still looking good for Homestead, up by 6, but those free throws sitting in the back of your mind. It's even a similar score to the game on Monday night against Leo. That one finished 48-46. I think Homestead's probably going to get out here with the win, but hard not to think about that game on Monday.
Yeah, if you're Homestead, you just want to knock down these free throws to just eliminate the possibility of anything crazy even happening. And right on cue, just another missed free throw by the Spartans, as just continuing to fight their toughest battles at the charity stripe.
Second free throw. That one is good from Immel. He goes 1 of 2. That puts it back to a 3-possession game. South into the front court. 20 on the clock. He'll turn around. Good passer. Alvey. Time really winding down now. Stark, he's got to take this 3 over Immel. That's off the mark. Baxter fighting with it for Dollins, who is fouled hard. And Dollins, you see, he wasn't happy as he gets up. And we'll take another look at that. Just hard contact. It wasn't necessarily anything dirty. It was just 2 guys going for the ball. And Dollins certainly taking to exception for that. But he will go to the free throw line for Homestead. 8.4 on the clock. Spartans should have this one in the bag. First free throw gets the roll for Sky Dollins.
And just a side note, I mean, Dollins is taking a beating in this game, and he took the charge and took him a while to get up, and then there, just a tough foul there going for the rebound. So shout out to Dollins putting his body on the line and coming in clutch for his team with some of the contact he's drawn.
Dollins looking like he belongs on the 90s Pistons in this game, as the deep three-pointer no good from South, and that's going to be the final action we see in this one. Homestead gets the victory 49-41, a defensive bout that'll send the Spartans to the semifinals tomorrow morning.
And you mentioned defensive bout. It was, as it wasn't a pretty game offensively for either team, but Homestead's defense in that fourth quarter from the get-go just set the tone for their team to have a pretty easy way to win as long as nothing crazy happened. They were able to just damage control at the late stages of this one, maintain their lead, and Homestead, they're showing, even though their offense struggled in this one, they're showing as a team that they can win multiple types of different basketball games, and that's a big quality for teams that want to compete. You have to be able to win even when your shots aren't falling, or when they are falling, you have to be able to win, and Homestead has now had a couple wins of different varieties, so a good sign for this team that they have playoff success in their future if they continue this.
Spartans move to 6-1 now on the season. Meanwhile, Center Grove falls to 3-4. So Homestead moves on to the semifinals tomorrow. They will face Penn or Hamilton Southeastern. That game is in the third quarter right now over in the Victory Gym. Center Grove will face the loser of that game. You just saw it on your screen a few seconds ago, but the other game will be Zionsville and Mount Vernon. That'll get us started bright and early at 10 a.m. So grab some breakfast, grab some coffee, and get up with us for some great basketball. That is going to be a top 13 game in the Sagarin ratings coming up for you. It is going to be a phenomenal way to start a great day of basketball. We'll have both semifinals for you here in Spartan Arena on the Homestead Media YouTube channel. We'll have the championship game and the 5th place game. Plus, we'll have all the consolation games as well here on the Homestead Media YouTube channel. Before we go, though, final thoughts on this one, Atticus?
Well, this was another great game of a great slate of quarterfinal games to kick off this holiday tournament, as teams, they're out there competing and they're playing very physical, and all the things are pointing in the right direction to a very exciting Saturday morning and night of basketball.
Zionsville, Mount Vernon at 10, Homestead and either Penn or HSC at 11:30. Those will be your two semifinals. Thanks for joining us for day one of the BSN Sports Homestead Holiday Tournament. On behalf of Malachi Stout and Atticus Dean, I'm Braxton All saying so long from Spartan Arena. We'll catch you tomorrow.